Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about special characters in MonuCad, and I'm just going to go through some examples to show you. The first one will be quotation marks, and so I just have one already set up here. So I'm going to go in and edit my letters and add the name, and his name is Raymond, and he had a nickname, Ray. So I'm going to put my quotes, R-A-Y quote, like you would think it should be. As you can see, the quote mark is backwards. So the way to fix that is to go back in, click on your quote, backspace, and you're going to hit the key that is right above enter that is straight line. So it is shift and the straight line. And as you can see, it makes a line a little bigger than the letter. Hit OK. And now you can see that the quote marks are on there. Now, let's do a little grammar lesson real quick. These quotes are correct. This is called a smart quote. If the quotes are straight up and down, they're called either dumb quotes or straight quotes. I'll show you what I mean. This is just an example I found that I thought helped. You can Google them yourself. This quote right here, or this one, that is the beginning of a quote or the opening of a quote. The ones have the heavy part on the bottom, and for a quote to close or end, the heavy part is on the top, like this. So you see those are called smart quotes, and the ones that are straight up and down are called dumb quotes. There's also smart apostrophes, that type of thing. So those are things you need to look at for monuments, because they do need to be grammatically correct, right punctuation, right spelling, as we know. So just keep an eye on that. A lot of people don't like the quote marks going heavy on the bottom. They want them both to be the same on both sides. That's fine. You'll have to go in, explode your letters, copy the quote that's on the right side, the end quote, and flip it to go on the opposite side. So technically you'll have two end quotes, but that's totally up to you and your customer. If you use lettering like Arial, any type of lettering usually that doesn't have sans serifs, they do have quote dumb quotes or straight quotes like in figure 1, and those are fine. That's just part of that font. But in MonuCad, for press modified Roman, press condensed Roman, I believe Common Gothic even does it, Vermarco may do it too, they have these smart quotes. So it's heavier on the bottom like these and heavy on the top to end the quote. So there's your English lesson for the day. You're welcome. Don't believe me? Look it up. Google it. Google knows everything. Now we're going to go over parentheses. And certain fonts have parentheses, certain fonts don't. I like to use individual modified or individual condensed. More or less I use modified even for condensed lettering. So I'll show you that here. We're going to type in Deborah parenthesis H-A-L-L, because that is her maiden name. Hit OK. You see the parentheses do not show up. So we're going to go back in and edit, and we're going to put a tilde, which is the character next to the number 1 on the very top. So you have to hit shift tilde, you go past your parenthesis, you put another tilde, and that's going to make this, whatever character you have right here, that's going to give you a second font down here and a second size that you can choose. And also on this one you're going to put another tilde, and you can put a tilde behind it. That tilde is going to disappear just because it's at the very end. Now if you continued on with more lettering, you would need another tilde at the end. But since this is the end of our first line, you don't need that last tilde. So I'm going to click on it. As you can see, putting those tildes in front and behind that parenthesis and in front of that one, this has opened up your second font. Also, you can see that the second size is open. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you have a font that has the parenthesis like you like it. Again, individual modified for me. And you need to have it to be the same letter size as your name. And even if this was going on a date or verse, you would have these two to be the same letter size. So hit OK. Now you can see nice parentheses. And I'll also show you the condensed version of this. So we're going to do Control A. That highlights all the lines. And you hit OK. And we're going to change just the font. Now if I were to click on that right there, on the size of the letter, it's going to change all my letter sizes to 1.5. So if you want to change everything at one time, Control A, highlights all lines, and you can change the font, the space between. You can even change the letter size if you want them to be all the same letter sizes. So now I'm going to go back, since I have it to be condensed, and I'm going to show you what individual condensed looks like. Again, same size letter. You can see they're a little different. That's kind of why I really like the individual modified prints. Now I'm going to show you an ampersand, or the and mark. So we're going to go in and add a verse at the bottom here. I've already got it set up. And I like to use Common Gothic. We don't really use Remarco here a lot unless it's requested. That's just personal preference. For sandblasting, it's a little wider letter, a little easier to sandblast, and some people don't like the way Remarco looks, especially the ends. They look like lowercase. We go to Common Gothic more often. So, beloved wife, ampersand, mother. And on Common Gothic, there is no ampersand, so I'm just showing you that there's a big blank space. You're going to go back in. You're going to click twice to edit your lettering. And we're going to go in again and put that tilde mark, that little squiggly, and then shift tilde, which is right next to the 1. Make sure you have a space between wife and a space between mother there. Click on it. Again, your second font has opened up, and I want to make sure my font's the same size. I normally use Arial for my ampersand. You will have to download Arial into your MonuCAD to pull that up. Another selection, Helvetica Condensed, has a nice ampersand that is about the same width as Common Gothic. So really what you have to do is find an ampersand that you like that matches the lettering, Common Gothic, or any type of lettering that you would choose to use. As you can see, zoom in, that's a pretty nice ampersand, and it goes fairly well with that. But again, like I said, I would use Arial normally, but I'm trying to give you options if you don't have Arial in your computer. So that's what I would normally use. Hit OK, still the same size. If you need a tutorial on how to add fonts to your MonuCAD system, there is a video on our channel for that. I'm going to show you the ampersand we used for press modified or press condensed. So again, I have Heather. There should be an and sign there. Bill Moore. We're going to right click and edit, and I'm going to put my tildes back on the and like we've been doing. Click on our line. It's opened up our second font, and I use individual modified for press modified Roman and individual condensed for press condensed Roman. So I'll show you both of those. Going back in, I'm going to change this to condensed Roman and individual condensed. That way you can see both ampersands. But that's what I use for ampersands for regular lettering. Vermarco has an ampersand, the green Vermarco does. I believe that Gerber has the ampersand too, but we use the green Vermarco. It sandblasts a little bit better and it's a little wider on the letter, so that's why we use the green. So right click, and all I do for Vermarco is I add a backslash. There's no backslash in this Vermarco, but that just gives me that correct amount of space. As you can see right here, it's really tight. It's not as nice and wide as that is. I just add that little backslash right there and hit OK, and that just gives us a little bit more space, and those backslashes do not sandblast. I'm going to show you how to make one letter bigger and keep it the same font. Let's say on this example they want the first letter of their name to be larger. They do not want to change the font. It will stay the same exact font. We just want it a little bit bigger. We go in and edit our lettering, and we're going to click the area before the letter that we want to edit, and you're going to hit Shift 8, the number 8, and that will give you the little star in front of your letter. Click on your line, and as you can see, the second font did not open up. It's still grayed out because we don't want to change the font. We only want to change the letter size, and it is only going to change that one letter. If you wanted to change, let's say, the S in Wilson also, you would have to go in front of the S and put another star. So it's not like the tilde where you put a star in front and behind. You only put the star in front of the letter that you're changing. And again, it will only change the size. So we're going to change this to 4 inches just to make it 1 inch taller than ILSON, and hit OK. Now it matches the bottom. Your lettering is taller. So basic quotation for press modified Roman or even press condensed, your standard lettering are periods, commas, quotes, semicolons, colons, apostrophes, dashes. Those are pretty much in the press modified and press condensed Roman. If you need an exclamation point or a question mark, you would have to do again the tilde. So we're going to go in. As you can see, we need the exclamation point. I'm going before the exclamation point, Shift tilde, Shift tilde, and hit enter. As you can see, that tilde disappeared. This has opened up our second font. I'm going to go to individual modified. Okay, and we want it to be the same exact size as our primary size, and hit OK. Individual modified does not have all of the punctuation, but that is one that you can try to use first. They also have a question mark. There you go. Another thing that you can use for individual modified, if you want to download it into your MonuCad system, is Times New Roman. Those go pretty well with press modified and press condensed Roman. And there's your exclamation point. If I have missed any that you are questioning, please let me know in the comments or email us. Again, if you need to download a new font into MonuCad, there is a tutorial on our channel for that already. I hope this has been helpful, and see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.